How the Moscow attack reveals deeper Russian weakness. The daughter of a prominent supporter of President Vladimir V. Putin's invasion of Ukraine was killed in a brazen car bombing in a Moscow suburb, adding new uncertainty to the 6-month war and rattling Russia's elite. Why was she the one picked on? Welcome back to our channel, and without any further ado, let's get started. Daria Dugina, age 29, was a hawkish political commentator and the daughter of philosopher Aleksandr Dugin, a longtime leading proponent of an imperialist Russia who has been urging the Kremlin to escalate its assault on Ukraine. The car bombing that occurred on a highway in a wealthy Moscow suburb at night is a terrorist act. Mr. Dugina was the intended victim. He switched cars at the last minute, and the accident ended up killing his daughter. Ms. Dugina's allies quickly claimed that Ukraine was responsible for the attack, despite the lack of any evidence linking it to the conflict in that country. An advisor to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky denied any involvement by Ukraine in the bombing. The advisor, Mikhailo Podolyak, was quoted on television as saying, "Ukraine certainly had nothing to do with the explosion. The Russian Federation is a criminal state, but we are not." Still, Mr. Putin's efforts to pursue the war in Ukraine while maintaining a sense of normalcy at home may be further upended by the rare attack on a member of the pro-Kremlin elite, which recalls the fiery assassinations of Moscow's chaotic 1990s. In Russia, Ms. Dugina's fame did not extend far beyond the ultra-nationalist and imperialist communities. However, after her death, calls for an escalation became more vocal, with some arguing that the attack proved the Kremlin was wrong to underestimate the strength of the enemy. State of war. Russia's retreat. This comes after Ukraine made significant gains in eastern cities like Lyman. In the midst of the fighting, President Vladimir Putin of Russia illegally annexed 4 regions of Ukraine, leading to the Ukrainian victories. Dugina Assassination. For the assassination of Daria Dugina, U.S. intelligence agencies believe portions of the Ukrainian government authorized the car bomb attack near Moscow in August. U.S. officials claim they were caught off guard by the plan and reprimanded Kiev for it. Oil supply cuts. To counter U.S. and European efforts to limit the oil revenue Moscow's using to finance its war in Ukraine, OPEC plus cartel leaders Saudi Arabia and Russia agreed to a large production cut in an effort to raise prices. Putin's nuclear threats. Top Russian leaders have made explicit nuclear threats for the first time since the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, and officials in Washington are playing out scenarios should Mr. Putin decide to use a tactical nuclear weapon. They met at a nationalist festival outside of Moscow. Later that day, Ms. Dugina drove away alone in a Toyota Land Cruiser, and she was killed instantly when a bomb planted underneath the driver's side exploded. Some people question whether or not it was done to shut up Mr. Dugin and others who support Mr. Putin's escalation plans. With the attack on Ms. Dugina, ultra-nationalist Russians who believe Mr. Putin is still being too soft on Ukraine have been thrust into the spotlight, where they've been increasingly seen on both social media and state television. Putin said that Russian forces were advancing step by step, but some popular hawkish commentators want him to move faster and more aggressively, striking government buildings in central Kiev or declaring a broad military draft. Mr. Dugina's Putin's brain is exaggerated, but the connection between the two men remains murky. Mr. Dugina, however, has been one of the most outspoken advocates of the Imperial Russia, leading a Eurasian civilization at war with the West for quite some time. High-profile opponents of the Kremlin, such as opposition leader Alexei Navalny in 2020, have been the targets of numerous assassination attempts, and prominent Putin supporters are rarely, if ever, harmed. The blast happened near the glitzy suburb of Rubliovka, which is home to the sprawling villas of Russia's ruling class, making it an especially audacious attack. Do you believe Ukraine was responsible for this attack? Please tell us in the comment space provided below. As for me, I'm calling it a day. We hope this video was entertaining for you, and we can't do it without you, so please subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos, and have a great day.